Hi everyone, this is Southern Belle 74. For those of you who don't know, I had a podcast on Spreaker. Well, Spreaker has now turned into Spotify. So with that being said, I had a podcast that was called A Better Me, A Better You that focused on healthy lifestyles. And in that, I took some time off. Actually, I took a couple of years off. And with the passing of my mother, I just needed some time to grieve and properly mourn her. But in doing so, I just stopped the podcast completely. And I just woke up this morning and I'm like, I need to revamp it. I need to come back to it because I thoroughly enjoyed it. So each day of the week, I had a different topic that focused on health and wellness, as well as spirituality. And Sunday was called Spiritual Potluck, where I chose something that was based on a spiritual topic and I discussed it. Sometimes it was just music. I just do gospel music on a Sunday. And there were sometimes topics about relationships, life, healthy living. And so, right now with an outstanding man who I love dearly. And what I'm learning in my relationship with him is showing grace to your partner. That is something I'm learning. I was in a place in my life. I found love later in life. I'm currently 51. I just turned 51 in June. And I recently was reunited with the love of my life. I met this man 8 years ago when he was stationed here. He is active duty. Well, he's retired now. He was active duty at the time. He was active duty Army. And I was fresh out of the Navy. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Navy veteran. I served in the Navy. And I moved here after I got out of the military. And he was still active duty. And I met him through a dating website of all places. I'll never forget. It's called Black People Meet. That was the name of the app that I met him on. And we connected and we went on our first date. And it was for dinner. I'll never forget because I was super nervous. And from there, we dated. And but he was only here for a short period of time. And then he had to leave. He went to Korea. He went overseas for a year. And we just lost touch. And from time to time, I would hear from him. He'd reach out. And I always kept his contact information in my phone. But, with the military, every couple of years you're moving. And so, just life went on. And this past year, we actually reunited again. He reached out to me. And I had shared with him, my mom had passed during that time. And he just, I don't know what made him reach out, but he did. And now we're back together, and it's just been an amazing thing. It's like we picked up right where we left off. But we're getting to know each other differently now. And in a relationship, there's going to be ups and downs. It's not always going to be happy and you're skipping through the daisies. It's not. And what I'm learning through him in a relationship is how important it is as we as partners need to give each other grace in our relationships. This man has the patience of Job. He is so patient with me. I've been through a lot of my life as far as relationships go. Not good guys. I've had a lot of bad experiences, but I've never given up on love. I always knew that there would be a special person out there. It was just him finding me finding him, and us both finding each other. And so what I'm learning in our relationships is sometimes our communication isn't always good. And in doing so, feelings get hurt. But what I've always come back to in our relationship is the fact that I don't ever want my partner to ever feel like, even when we're not on the best of terms, that I don't care about them or that I don't love them. Even when I'm mad and angry, about a situation, love is still always going to be there. And I haven't in the past had the ability to do that or communicate that to past partners because oftentimes they didn't care. I wasn't important enough. I wasn't a priority. But this man is different. Everything about him is different. When I tell you I love everything about this man, I love everything about him. He makes me feel like I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. He gives me so much joy and he brings so much happiness to my life that sometimes it scares me because, like I said, I've come from not so good relationships. And one day I will share with you guys my domestic violence relationship that I was in. But I'll save that for another podcast. But this man is loving me past all of my pain, all of my trauma, all of my damage. He sees good in me that I sometimes don't even see in myself. But I'm so thankful that he's opening up my eyes to the fact that we have to show each other grace. And we can also be very transparent with our significant others and allow them to be a safe space. I've opened up to this man more than I've opened up to any man I've ever been with. And the reason why is I feel safe with him. I know whatever I reveal to him, he's not going to repeat it. He's not going to throw it back up in my face. He's not going to weaponize my trauma. And in the past, that has been the case, very much so. I would be vulnerable, and then in an argument, it would be thrown back up in my face. And with him, it's nothing like that. This man loves me so much. And I'm just so thankful for that. And the grace goes both ways. I extend grace to him as well. Like I said, we've had some spats where we've, needed some cool down time, but it's never anything where it's become violent or I would ever think about harming him or him harming me. But we do have disagreements, and sometimes they can be heated. But at the end, like I said, regardless of whatever differences we may have, we never went to sleep angry with one another. We always talk it out, and we always come to common ground. And I love this man, and I thank God for him, and I'm so blessed to have him in my life. So in closing, I just want to tell anyone who's in a relationship, allow your partner grace, because no one's perfect. So thank you for tuning into my spiritual potluck Sunday. Monday is Mental Health Monday, which is tomorrow. We'll have a mental health topic that I'll touch on. But I want to get back into this podcast about healthy living, because I am still on my journey. I have several different health issues, and we'll talk about those further on along in the podcast. But I just wanted to kick off Sunday and get back into the swing of things. It's been a while. It's been years. I think the last time I did a podcast was 2022, and it's now 2025. So this is a reboot, a rebrand, a revamp. But I wanted to start off on a good note. So in closing, check out my podcast. Go back. I've got years, literally years of podcasts. And like I said, each day of the week has a title and a topic. So if you're into healthy living, wellness, having a good spiritual life, check me out. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I also have a YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and now here. Like I said, it used to be Anchor, but now it is Spotify. And let me know what you think. And in closing, I want to just tell you to have the best day that you can and smile at someone if you come in passing with them today. You never know what that person's going through, and that smile might just lift their spirits. This is Southern Belle 74, aka Thomasetta, wishing you a better me, a better you,